To move well and protect our lower backs, we need core strength, control and coordination around 4 joints. At BT Pilates, to achieve this we use a 6-point checklist. Points 1 to 3 are about avoiding extremes of movement around the base of the spine. Point 4 covers the necessary muscle strength, while point 5 is about being tall, relaxed, and attentive to our environment. Point 6 is about joint flexibility in joints above and below the core. Since Pilates is a thinking workout, for each exercise we will be asking you which core control strategy you think it is. For the sideline, since we've just given ourselves a wee bit of challenge there, I'm not going to have a leg going forward and back now. So we've got bent knees, and we've got the little thigh bone rotate. Knees touch, ankle high. Heel and ankle touch, knee high. Can you relax your throat and enjoy a little head heavy on the biceps pillow? Touch, touch. How much rotation can you get there? This is mobilizing the hip so that your lower back doesn't have to move quite so much. We can just straighten our leg now. And we can wrap the hand around that thigh. I'm going to take the hand back and the leg down. Let's count 5. Wrap the fingers around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, old folks, sometimes they never get anyone a touch of another person, but at least you can touch with your own hand. It probably feels quite nice. Okay, so vertical shin. So we're only having 2 up and downs as the inner thigh lift up and down. So let's put the foot action in. Can you curl your foot up? Can you curl it down? Curl up, curl down, curl up, curl down. And yeah, we've got hands behind the head there. Yeah. All right, so just take a little break there and just feel long and relaxed, hopefully. So what happens if we make the foot look down to bring the leg up, and make the foot look up to bring the leg down? And that's really quite different, isn't it? It's like the foot's trailing in the water if you're dragging your leg through the water. Can you see that? Now, when I started doing that, it was like, oh, that's unco. It still is, but at least it's getting used to it now. And there's a lot of mobilization and muscle activation around there. Got to be good for you. So if we missed a wobbly man on the way up, so perpendicular belt line, etc. Oh, right, that's good solid core. So just set yourself up. I'm going to angle the camera down just a fraction. And I'm going to take my socks off too. You might be able to see things a bit better. Sideline with the legs forward, biceps pillow. So why do I like this position? We've got a lovely stretch for the armpit, right? And we've also, there's a little less stability, so it gives you a little more challenge. But you can relax your head here on this biceps pillow. Bent knees. Thigh rotations. Heel to ankle, knee to knee. See how much rotation can you get in there, and your body's just like a domino piece on its side. See, if I'm touching my belt line there, I'm just checking that there's no movement. The hips are not rolling forward and back. So all the movement is in the hip joint. Lower back doesn't have to do the movement. This is how you save your aching back. This is how you get really nimble hips and knees. Very good, Neil. You just listen carefully to what's happening there. take a break when you need it. So you can take both, well, one top leg straight. So we'll just first off, just find what it can do. And then we take the arm up and just grab the, wherever you reach, just below the knee, this side of the kneecap or whatever. And then, all right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The inner thigh lift, we plant that shin vertical, straighten the lower knee. So we put hands behind the head, and there we go. All right, so tilt your ankle, so just make your foot look up. You can see that now, I think, just up we go. Make the foot look down. So the face on the sole of the foot's looking down to go down and up to go up. You can bend your knee a little just to make it happen, maybe. That is just magic control and coordination. For your thigh muscles, your inner thigh muscles. There's a lot of inner thigh muscles, which to me means there's probably quite exquisite control to be had there if you look for it. All right, take a little break. So we just reverse the ankle action. So make the sole of the foot look down and go up. Make the sole of the foot look up and go down. So that foot is now like if your leg's wafting through the water, well, the foot's just trailing in the water stream. Okay, I think that might do. All right. I'm going to go into a sideline IT band stretch. It's very important this lower leg's back, but very important just get the ribs lifted. You can even just keep fingers curled in there to keep the ribs lifted, because now the base of the spine is more or less perpendicular to belt line. It's safe, ribs lift. And it's a nice, safe way to stretch the side band. The ball is deep in the middle of that socket there. Ribs lift. Elbows pushing. And if we were, the ribs are lifting, and if you check, that's really working tummy core control all around, but especially underneath the ribs lifting. Elbow pushing. Should be a nice tall body, and you're shining your heart and head forward. And then we just bring the knee forward and up like, as I say, Mr. Wobbly Man. That's supposed to be a key where your belt line and your spine are staying more or less at right angles. All right, lower leg goes back. The ribs are lifting. That's a really good IT band stretch happening. You'll see videos of people doing the same thing on the wall. But in this position, I like it for 2 reasons. You've already heard me saying them. The ribs are lifting, and we're really conscientiously practicing and ingraining the habit of tall with a perpendicular belt line and spine, just down this lower spine here. Press with the elbow, lift the ribs. And also the stretch is happening, but the ball's deep in the socket. If we're doing it against the wall, gravity's going to be pushing the ball out the top of the socket. Actually, it won't be, unless, if you've got shallow hip sockets, it will be, but most of us, it's not a way, but I think it's a nice way to do it. And then we can just wobbly man our way out. Stretch band windscreen wiper. Before we go into that, I'd just like to see a little easing into a leg pull back. Okay. And we're enjoying that smooth movement up to whatever you can do. And right at the top, you might be, the top of the movement's the sticking point. Like that's the hard bit, isn't it? And we smoothly come into and out of that. Can we squeeze our glutes to make it more comfortable to go a millimeter higher? Squeezing. And you might want to squeeze your shoulders together as well. And then just keep the back straight to lower. Up, squeezing, and squeeze your shoulders together as well. And just one more, squeezing. I don't know about you, but that's an acquired taste, that glute squeeze in a leg pull. So let's grab the stretch band. Hip replacement, you're not going there, but you can certainly have the leg vertical or out the side. And since I've got a footstool, I'm going to use it. You can use one too, or a cushion. It's nice to have your head on something. So right here, here's the core control because there's no twist. The hips are staying squared off with the chest, the other hips down. And here's a nice hamstring stretch. You might make a circle or a U shape, whatever works. And leg across the body. And we can slightly bend and straighten the actual circles here. It's often quite nice. And while you're circling, you might ask that top hip to push away from your ribs a little. Yeah, and circle the other way. Okay. If we have a hand up the band, we can get more control. Finding out what those hamstrings are like. And then wide. And just a little straighten and bend of the knee. Okay, what's that feel like? The opposite hip's down. Strong. If you push on the tummy, tummy's bracing to hold the base of the spine and it's middle of its range of movement. And if we took that knee slightly bending and straightening it, make the kneecap look down, up, is your neck and shoulder relaxed. So we've had a few variations there. I'm going to switch over. So as I say, hip replacement, you're not going to go there, but otherwise, you can go vertical or out the side. Oh yeah, circling, hamstring stretch. One hand up the band, maybe. With the leg wide, opposite hip down. You can really feel that tummy working. It's nice to know. Glutes don't have to work here, do they? You could squeeze them, but you don't need to. Okay, I'm going to take the leg across and just push that top hip away. Maybe a little circles. Does the knee bend help? Not really. If it works for you, do it. So if I push that top hip away, that's actually a lengthening cue for the body. That's generally always good. Okay. And I'm going to come up to seated. I'm just going to put in a tall, kneeling, pull strings. It's about line, sort of stable. Okay.